So we have our first question from Ron Ballard. I'm just going to read it. I do see more hummers here in Georgia in fall, but they are very territorial and usually see one hummer at a feeder at a time. Is there any way to attract more at the same time, or is it really just up to them to decide if it will happen?
All of the above. All of the above. A couple of factors come into play. They're certainly all territorial. The immature birds, both males and females, are very aggressive with one another. The adult males obviously are aggressive. The adult females are aggressive. They want their food source protected. They see a food source, your feeder, they're going to try to protect that thing. They'll sit close by. Any bird even comes around, you see them buzz. So this is what you're watching. One bird dominating a feeder. Maybe 3 days later, that bird's moved on. There's another one taking its place to do the same thing. What can you do about it? First of all, you're lucky you've got more than one bird. So that's a good thing. 2, put out more feeders. Spread them around. If you're in a decent hummingbird area, you could have 5 or 10 feeders out. It depends on how many you want to work with. At least 2 or 3. Put them around in different spots that are not necessarily visually available to one another. So maybe around a corner, so a bird can peacefully sit on a feeder and can't be seen by the bird around the corner in a bush guarding its feeder. You'll still see fights, but more birds will come to the feeders. The other thing is just how many birds you have total. As I said, if you're way, way up north, your breeding birds right around there move out quickly, so you won't see many hanging around in fall time. And these birds, as they all move south, will do their best to eat more and more and more. So they get down to the Gulf area or the southern areas in the west, getting ready to move into Central America. They want to get as much fat as possible. So they just hang on to the feeders, they protect them with their lives, and drive all the birds off. If it gets, you may notice if you ever watch, if it starts drizzling rain or it's slightly cool in the late summer, early fall when they're moving through, all of a sudden, you've probably seen this, you'll see more than one bird on a feeder. It's unusual, but what's happened is they must eat. They can't afford, because of the weather and what they're trying to do, they can't afford to fight because it burns too much energy. So they'll just put aside their angst, and 2 or 3 will sit at a feeder and feed. Then they'll pretend to fight a little bit, but if the weather's not cooperating, they need the food, they'll all share a feeder. I've seen birds literally on top of each other, one on top of the other, 2 beaks, 3 beaks at a time into a feeder port, trying to eat.
I want to see that.
Because it was cool weather in the mountains, and they had to eat.